but that was then, and this is now. When instead, what we try to do is give kids, I don't know, promises of cars or iPads or anything they can. Because in California, that's how they're trying to do it, at least under the auspices that it's not necessarily taxpayer money, a lot of private donations to keep the kids in school and off the streets. Tamara Holder loves it, says it's a good idea. Gina Loudon says it's stupid. Gina, why not a fan?
I'm not a fan for a lot of reasons. One, we've already created such an entitlement generation, and this goes even one step further to saying you're literally there putting your backside into warming a seat every day, and you deserve some flashy reward for that, like a car or an iPad. To me, this sends the wrong message. I think the accountability should be on the adults in this situation to use the intrinsic motivations to get the students in those seats every day. And don't forget, there's a money trail here. I'm sure we'll get to that.
All right. Now, we don't know for sure whether taxpayers are going to end up footing the bill. Tamara, you don't draw a distinction. For now, it's private donations here, with the idea being, look, kids stay in class, they go to school, they're less likely to be out on the streets causing trouble. Money well spent, whether private or public, right?
Well, the fact is that this is private money, and Gina makes...
What if it were public money?
Well, I think that that's obviously a different issue, because Gina makes this argument that we're an entitlement society, but that has to do with spending taxpayers' money. In this situation, Neil, we have no facts of that whatsoever. These are private companies.
All right,
even
then
Subway.
Focus on the private.
So
what does it say about our society now, then, that you have to pay kids off this way to get them to stay at school?
Well, I've worked in the inner city before, and I've seen that a lot of parents aren't involved in their children's education because they don't have an education of their own, they don't value it, whatever the reason. But here are private individuals coming in and saying, look, there's actually a value in going to class, and you do get something, you do get rewarded, and these same rewards that you're getting now, you will get in the future because you will have a job and you will be able to buy these things yourself.
All right, well, Gina, do you have kids? Not to be personal.
I do.
Okay. Now, do you ever wow. Okay. Do you ever offer them an incentive to do something?
Oh, I absolutely offer incentives, but my incentives aren't based on...
Do you ever pay them? I know I used to give allowances and all, but do you ever pay them or give a financial incentive to do something?
Based on accomplishment, but kids will learn quickly after they get out of school that you don't get a car for showing up in real life. And let's cut to the chase here, Neil.
See, I promised my kids a car to do something. I have no intention of keeping. But my goal is, you're going to get a car. I'm lying, but you know what I mean? So half kidding to say that maybe if the incentive is strong enough, the kids do respond, and you get something good that comes out of it. You disagree.
But see, Neil, this is not really about the kids. The California Unified School District has $32 price tag per day on our kids' heads. That resulted in $156 million last year out of the pockets of, let's not forget, the unionized teachers and administrations. That's what we're really talking about here. This is about cutting down on those absentee rates so that they don't lose the money in their own pockets.
You're assigning all sorts of horrible motivations to this, so I don't know. But Tamara, if this were not done and these kids were out on the street and they weren't going to school, at least they would not be going to school for reasons that have nothing to do with being paid off.
Well, I don't consider it being paid off. Gina says herself
you get a car, you get an iPad,
but that's not being paid off.
Sure it is.
No. That's being rewarded for certain behavior, for good behavior. Look, there was a study that just came out in November of last year that said that California graduation rate was at the bottom of the country. And now we just learned last month.
Someone gives you something to do something.
But we just learned last month that their graduation rate is now up 66%. So whatever it takes.
Well, they've been paid off, right? So that's good.
No, they have not been paid off. They have been incentivized that if you go
can call
and
anything you
well,
want,
you
potato. I'm just saying that they've gotten something, an incentive to do that, right?
Sure, it's an incentive, but you actually have to perform your work in order to get
actually, in
the
this
reward.
case, you just have to show up.
No.
That's exactly right.
It's attendance, and it's also your grades. It's not just going to school and then you get a free car. it's a little bit more.
It might be different in different places, Tamara,
Right.
but the articles that I've been reading are this is strictly, we're talking about attendance. So really, this is what you have. You might have a straight A student sitting here on the one side who's not getting a free car or a free iPad, with a student who doesn't have good grades at all but happen to warm a seat every single day. To me, that's sending the wrong message to our children, and I don't really care who pays for it.
If you have proof that some kid's just sitting there to get a free
guys,
car,
it
that's
says
ridiculous.
something private or public, but when I was a kid, and if my father told me to do so, I just did it. I just did it because I'd be a human satellite if I didn't. That was then. This is now. Although the ice cream cone did help. All right, ladies, thank you
Neil,
both. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Finish your point.
You.
No,
well,
no,
I
you
was just going to say, I've taught school. I've taught at the
Right.
university level, and I always maintain that I will not have an attendance policy. I want my students to show up because I have something worthwhile to offer them every day, and they know if they miss a class, they're missing a great value and benefit to their future. I think we should incentivize the teachers to provide that sort of intrinsic motivation.
No, that was sort of like my dad. You know, is this? You know, you're going to be a punching bag if you don't. But that was pretty much the same incentive. Ladies, thank you both very much.
Thanks,
so
Neil.
after all of these leaks, the terrorists have left.